Dear older adults, among thousands of foods studied for muscle protection, only a small group truly stands out. What surprises many people is that eggs, our so-called perfect protein, fall short later in life. They are not the strongest choice for muscle support after age 60. For decades, we have been told to eat eggs to stay strong and build muscle. But in an older body, the response to egg protein is not as good as at 30 or 40. At the same time, many people now have high cholesterol, atherosclerosis, or high blood pressure. So simply eating more eggs is not always the wisest choice. Few places explain this clearly to you. Muscles after 60 do not just need protein. They need the right type, the right amount, and the right supporting nutrients. There are very simple, affordable foods that are easy to buy. In people over 70 or even 80, these foods can help muscles respond better to protein than eggs alone. In today's video, I will share 8 foods with you. For muscle building power after 60, each item on this list can be a step above eggs. Each food gives you protein, plus secret weapons like omega-3, vitamin D, probiotics, and resistant starch. These nutrients may slow muscle loss and even help rebuild weaker muscles. The number 1 food on this list, if used correctly and consistently, can still support new muscle fibers even after age 70. It may help almost until age 80. Many people think I am exaggerating when they first hear that. But after a few weeks of trying, they notice their legs feel very different. Before we talk about each food, I invite you to pause and look back at your last week. When did you feel most clearly that your muscles are not like before? Was it when standing up from a chair, climbing a step, or just walking around the supermarket? Maybe your legs trembled and your back felt tired. Please hold that feeling in your mind while you listen to these 8 foods. Then ask yourself which of them you could start adding to your meals this week. I also truly want to hear from you. Please leave a comment below with your age and what worries you most about your muscles or your legs. My team and I will try to read and respond to each message. Sometimes, just seeing someone like me speak up is enough to motivate another person to care for their health. Now, without wasting time, we will start counting down from number 8. This first item looks very ordinary and is quite affordable. Yet it can help your muscles use every gram of protein better than simply eating more eggs. Quinoa is a good carb that helps protein go to the right places. It may sound like a fancy grain, but for people over 60, it is an important piece in muscle protection. 1 cup of cooked quinoa gives about 7 nanojalogs of protein, less than meat or milk. But its real strength is how it helps your body use protein from the whole meal. First, quinoa is a slow-digesting starch rich in both soluble and insoluble fiber. When you eat quinoa, sugar from the meal enters your blood slowly, without sharp spikes and drops. Because of that, insulin can work more smoothly and steadily. Insulin is the hormone that moves sugar and amino acids into your cells. For older adults, this is crucial. When insulin is stable, muscles open their doors to amino acids more easily. Then the protein you eat all day is used better instead of being wasted or turned into belly fat. Put simply, quinoa helps adjust the voltage, so each gram of protein can serve your muscles, not your waistline. Quinoa also contains all 9 essential amino acids. So even though it is not a protein champion, it is still considered a complete protein. This is especially useful on days when you mainly eat bread, white rice, and a few vegetables with very little meat or fish. Your muscles still receive all the amino acid pieces they need. Quinoa also provides iron, which your body uses to make hemoglobin in blood and myoglobin in muscles. These act like trucks carrying oxygen to every muscle fiber. With enough iron, muscles get more oxygen. You feel less short of breath or drained when walking or climbing a few steps. Manganese and B vitamins in quinoa join the energy production lines inside cells. They help your muscles feel less tired and recover better after simple activities like shopping, cleaning, or gardening. Another overlooked point is how quinoa's starch and fiber structure feeds good gut bacteria. A healthy gut helps absorb nutrients better and may reduce mild chronic inflammation. This kind of background inflammation quietly weakens muscles and causes aching joints, even when tests show no clear disease. Scientifically, a 2010 nutrition review by Vega Galvez and colleagues classified quinoa as a high-protein, high-fiber, pseudo-cereal with a low to moderate glycemic index. Simply put, quinoa softens blood sugar swings, it helps control weight and improves insulin sensitivity better than many refined starches like white rice, white bread, or white pasta. So what we discussed about good carbs and steady insulin is backed by data, not rumors. The problem is that many older adults still start the day with white bread, white bagels, or sugary cereal. Those breakfasts have almost no protein and make blood sugar swing wildly. You feel tired and sleepy, and your muscles lack material to recover. By simply replacing part of the white starch with quinoa, your internal environment changes. Blood sugar becomes smoother, insulin works better, and every gram of protein you eat is used more effectively for your muscles. A small example is Mr. Daniel, 71 in Texas. He often ate white bread with chicken breast for lunch and complained of feeling out of energy every afternoon. After guidance, he changed 3-4 lunches each week to quinoa with vegetables and a protein source like chicken, fish, or beans. There were no fancy changes and no expensive supplements. Yet after about 6-8 weeks, he felt much less afternoon energy crashes and his periodic blood sugar became easier to control. During sit-to-stand exercises, his legs no longer felt like jelly. The good news is that quinoa is easy to use and quite economical if you buy larger bags. You can cook a pot, store it in the fridge, and reheat as needed. Use it to replace part of your rice or pasta at main meals. Mix a few spoons into salads, or make a simple bowl with vegetables and a protein like chicken, fish, or beans. Unlike white starches, quinoa keeps blood sugar smoother and helps muscles use your daily protein better. If your doctor has told you to limit potassium or phosphorus because of kidney disease, ask before using quinoa regularly. If you follow a strict low-carb diet for medical reasons, also check before adding quinoa. Once you have a good carb base that supports insulin, the next step is to add a small but powerful source. It is a seed that provides complete protein and healthy fats for muscles and blood vessels. Hemp seeds are a classic example of something small but mighty. Just about 3 tablespoons give 9-11 g of protein. The number is not huge if you only look at grams, but their true strength lies in the quality of protein and the nutrients that come with it. Hemp seeds provide complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids that the body cannot make. For adults over 60, each serving of such full package protein helps muscles avoid patching from many small sources. Their protein is also fairly easy to digest, so sensitive stomachs usually tolerate it well. Besides protein, hemp seeds are rich in healthy fats, with a more balanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratio than typical fried foods and fast food. These fats support the heart and may reduce low-grade background inflammation. That quiet inflammation makes muscles weaker and joints sore, making walking feel heavier. Hemp seeds also contain a lot of arginine, which the body uses to make nitric oxide. Nitric oxide gently widens blood vessels and improves blood flow to muscles. For older adults with cold, heavy, easily tired legs, better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reach the muscles. That helps them recover and function more effectively. Hemp seeds also provide magnesium and phosphorus, 2 minerals directly involved in muscle contraction, relaxation, and energy production. Without enough magnesium, you may get cramps or tight calves at night. Regularly adding a small daily amount of hemp seeds is a gentle way to restore magnesium and phosphorus through food. You may not need many extra pills. A 2004 study by Callaway described hemp seeds as rich in protein, complete in essential amino acids, high in arginine, and with a balanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. These factors support the heart and help reduce chronic inflammation in adults and older people. In simple terms, this small seed is a very worthwhile investment for muscle, bone, and blood vessel health. In short, hemp seeds act like a combo pack. They give protein, healthy fats, and key minerals for muscles and blood vessels, all in just a few spoonfuls. The problem is that many people only sprinkle a tiny amount of hemp seeds as a healthy-looking topping. A small pinch on a smoothie bowl or oatmeal is usually too little to make a real difference. When you reach about 2 or 3 tablespoons daily, especially combined with high-protein foods like Greek yogurt or oatmeal, Hemp seeds finally become a meaningful part of your protein and good fat budget after 60. A small example is Mrs. Olivia, 68, in California. She often felt hungry in the afternoon and easily wandered toward cookies and donuts. Her daughter suggested switching to Greek yogurt with 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds and some berries for an afternoon snack. After about 2 months, she noticed fewer sugar cravings. Evening walks around the neighborhood felt lighter, and her legs seemed less heavy than before. To use hemp seeds, you can sprinkle 2 to 3 tablespoons on Greek yogurt or oatmeal in the morning or afternoon. You can also toss them into salads to stay full longer without needing heavy dressings. Another option is to blend hemp seeds into smoothies as a protein-rich snack. They do not need cooking. You simply scoop and sprinkle onto foods you already enjoy. The key is consistent daily use, not eating a large portion once and then forgetting. If you have a history of nut or seed allergies, start with a very small amount and watch for reactions. If you take blood thinners or have complex vascular disease, ask your doctor before increasing any food rich in unsaturated fats, including hemp seeds. From this small seed that is easy to sprinkle, we move to another food that is also simple to find in supermarkets. It appears on the table as a real snack: young soybeans. Edamame, or young soybeans, are a very interesting choice for muscles after 60. You usually see them at sushi restaurants or in the frozen aisle. Just half a cup, about 80-90 gram, gives 10 to 12 g of protein. 1 cup offers nearly 17 g, so a small bowl can already be a high-protein snack. Edamame provides high-quality plant protein that is very suitable for building and maintaining muscle after 60. It also brings fiber, folate, iron, and manganese. These nutrients help make red blood cells and carry oxygen to muscles, keeping energy steady and supporting the heart. Edamame also has a gentle glycemic index. It does not spike and crash blood sugar like chips or cookies, which is crucial if you have prediabetes or diabetes. What makes edamame special for older adults is that it is both a snack and a serious protein source. Instead of watching TV with chips or crackers, which are mainly bad starch, salt, and oil, you can enjoy a warm bowl of edamame with a pinch of sea salt. You still get the pleasure of snacking, but this time your muscles receive amino acids instead of empty calories. Scientifically, several studies show that soy protein can help maintain muscle mass and function in older adults when eaten in adequate and regular amounts. For example, Xu and colleagues in 2024 ran a clinical trial in nursing home residents. After 12 weeks of soy-rich meals, the group maintained calf size and walked 6 meters faster, while the control group lost leg muscle. Simply put, if your total daily protein is enough, the portion coming from soy, including edamame, still supports muscle well. It works even better when you combine it with gentle, regular exercise. A small example is Mr. George, 73, who used to eat crackers and cheese every night. After counseling, he switched to half to 1 cup of steamed edamame 4 to 5 evenings a week. After about 6 weeks, his weight dropped slightly and his waist became slimmer. Most importantly, in the morning, his knees felt less stiff and painful, so starting the day felt easier. To use edamame, you can buy frozen packs in the supermarket. Steam or boil them for about 5 to 7 minutes, then add a little sea salt, garlic powder, or pepper if you like. Edamame works well as an afternoon snack or added to salads and stir-fries to boost protein. Keeping a few bags in the freezer makes it easy to prepare a quick, muscle-friendly snack. If you are allergic to soy, you should avoid edamame entirely. If you have hormone-sensitive conditions or are being treated for hormone-sensitive cancers, ask your doctor before increasing any soy foods, including edamame. If edamame is a fun way to increase protein through snacking, the next food is like a soft steak made for a weak digestive system: tofu. Tofu, especially firm tofu, is a very gentle option for people over 60. A piece of about 120-150 green gives 15-18 year of protein. That amount makes a very meaningful contribution toward the 20-30 year of protein per meal that aging muscles need. For older adults, tofu has several very friendly features. First, it is soft, easy to chew and swallow, which helps when teeth, gums, or jaws are not as strong as before. Second, many tofu products in the U.S. are made with calcium sulfate, so each serving adds calcium for bones and muscle contraction. Third, soy protein is generally considered heart-friendly and may support blood lipids better than many fatty red meats. Many people think tofu is only for vegans, but for people over 60, I often see tofu as a soft steak, easier on the stomach than red meat and lower in saturated fat. It still brings you closer to your protein goal without forcing you to push through heavy meat. Soy protein has been studied quite extensively. Some studies show it can improve or maintain blood lipids when it replaces part of the protein from red and processed meat. Other studies in older adults suggest that soy protein, when taken in adequate doses and combined with resistance exercise, can help preserve lean mass. It is not much worse than animal protein, as long as total daily protein is enough. In simple terms, if you struggle to eat much meat because of chewing, swallowing, or bloating, tofu is a comfortable detour. It helps you reach your protein target and adds a heart-friendly bonus. A small example is Mrs. Helen, 76, who often felt bloated and uncomfortable after beefsteak. The heavy feeling lasted all evening. After counseling, she switched to grilled tofu 2-3 meals a week with broccoli and quinoa. About 2 months later, she told her doctor that she no longer felt heavy, and light leg press sessions at physical therapy felt much easier. To use tofu, you can press out some water, slice it, and pan-sear with a little olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. You can also stir-fry tofu with vegetables and eat it with brown rice or quinoa, or add tofu cubes to vegetable soups to increase protein without making the meal heavy. These methods are quite American style, with few steps and simple seasoning. Having tofu in several meals each week already gives your muscles an easy protein source. If you are allergic to soy, you must of course avoid tofu. If you have advanced kidney disease and must limit protein, your tofu intake, like all protein, needs careful planning with your clinician or dietitian. From soy-based foods, we move to another legume that can clear the path for protein: lentils. Cooked lentils provide about 16 to 20 grams of protein per cup, but their power is not only in that number. The crucial point is how they help the body use protein more efficiently. Lentils are rich in folate, iron, and magnesium, which are needed to make red blood cells and carry oxygen to muscles. When oxygen delivery is good, your legs feel less like lead after short walks or a few steps. More importantly, lentils contain plenty of fiber and resistant starch. This type of starch is not fully digested in the small intestine and goes to the colon to feed good bacteria and improve insulin sensitivity. When insulin is more sensitive, muscles open more widely to receive amino acids. The same amount of protein gives more benefit when this metabolic base is healthy. Many people after 60 start drinking whey and eating more chicken breasts, yet blood sugar stays high, belly fat increases, and standing from a chair remains difficult. Protein is not useless. The real problem is that the metabolic base underneath, especially insulin and blood sugar, is troubled. Lentils act as a quiet path clearer that helps insulin work more smoothly so protein can reach muscles instead of belly fat. One clinical trial by Wilson and colleagues in 2022, published in Nutrition Research, showed that eating lentil-containing meals for 8 weeks slowed the progression of insulin resistance in people at metabolic risk. It did not increase digestive discomfort. Simply put, lentils help the body handle sugar and insulin more smoothly, creating an excellent base for building and maintaining muscle in older age. A small example is Mr. Patrick, 70, with prediabetes. He often ate white bread sandwiches for lunch and felt out of battery every afternoon. After counseling, he changed his weekday lunches to 1 cup of lentil soup with salad. After about 3 months, his blood sugar tests improved slightly, his waist became slimmer, and he noticed that he no longer needed a big push to stand from a chair. To use lentils, you can buy dried green, brown, or red lentils at the supermarket. Rinse and cook them with water or broth for about 20-25 minutes until soft. Lentils work well in soups, in lentil chili to replace part of ground meat, or in warm salads to increase protein and fiber at lunch or dinner. You do not need complicated recipes. Just having lentils appear several times a week, especially at lunch, can already improve blood sugar, in your muscles' response to protein? If you have severe kidney disease and have been told to limit potassium or phosphorus, ask before eating lentils and other legumes regularly. If you often get bloating, start with about a quarter cup of cooked lentils and increase slowly. Those are the savory foods for main meals. Now we move to a very familiar food, yogurt, but its special version is a powerful switch for muscles after 60. Greek yogurt. 1 cup of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt provides about 18 to 20 grams of protein. That nearly reaches the 20 to 30 grams per meal that muscles after 60 need to wake up. Greek yogurt contains both whey and casein. Whey is absorbed quickly and raises blood amino acids soon after eating. Casein is absorbed slowly and drips amino acids into the blood for several hours. For older adults, this pattern is very helpful. You do not need constant eating, yet your muscles receive building material for many hours. Greek yogurt is also rich in leucine, an amino acid that acts like a switch for muscle building. At 20-30, muscles respond easily to small protein doses. After 60, muscles become more demanding and need enough leucine in one meal to turn on the building process. Some studies in older adults show that meals with about 2 grams of leucine, roughly 20-30 grams of high-quality protein, trigger a much stronger building response than meals with only 8 to 10 grams of protein. Distributing protein evenly across the day, for example, 25 to 25 to 25 grams, protects muscle better than putting most protein into one big meal while other meals are low. Greek yogurt makes it easy to reach that threshold without overeating. Another bonus is that Greek yogurt contains probiotics, the beneficial bacteria for the gut. A healthy gut improves nutrient absorption and may reduce low-grade inflammation that slowly damages muscles and joints. In short, a cup of Greek yogurt in the morning is not just to fill the stomach. It is a package of protein, leucine, and probiotics for muscles after 60. Many people over 60 start the day with coffee and a donut or a thin slice of toast with jam. If you calculate, that breakfast often provides only about 5 to 8 grams of protein. That is far too little to activate muscle growth. When breakfast has about 20-30 grams of protein, muscle building for the day becomes much stronger. You feel less midday fatigue, less empty legs, and over time muscle loss slows. By replacing a donut with Greek yogurt plus smart toppings, you turn breakfast from starving the muscles into truly feeding them. A small example is Mrs. Monica, 74, who had years of toast with jam and coffee. She often complained that by 3 to 4 p.m., her legs felt like cotton and she just wanted to sit. After counseling, she switched breakfast to 1 cup of Greek yogurt with 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds and some berries. After about 8 weeks, she noticed that afternoon grocery trips felt different. She could walk all the aisles without that hollow feeling in her legs. She still felt tired, but no longer felt like collapsing immediately. To use Greek yogurt, choose plain, unsweetened types. Add berries like blueberries or strawberries and 1-2 tablespoons of hemp seeds or a few nuts. Greek yogurt works well as breakfast or a snack after walking, gardening, or physical therapy when muscles are especially sensitive to protein. Just one small habit repeated daily will make your muscles thank you after a few weeks. If you are lactose intolerant, you can choose lactose-free Greek yogurt. If you are allergic to dairy, you need to avoid Greek yogurt and may consider plant-based yogurt. Remember, plant-based yogurts usually have less protein, so you must fill the gap with other sources like beans, fish, or eggs. If Greek yogurt is a powerful morning weapon, the next food is a small can that cares for muscles, bones, and the heart at the same time. Canned sardines. 1 small can of sardines provides about 20-25 grams of complete protein, enough to cover most of a meal's protein target for someone over 60. But that is only the most visible part. Sardines are fatty fish rich in omega-3, EPA, and DHA. These fats have been widely studied for reducing chronic inflammation and improving muscle-building response in older adults. Simply put, when background inflammation is lower, muscles accept and use protein more easily. Each gram of protein you eat works harder. Sardines are also one of the few natural sources of vitamin D. Vitamin D is vital for proper muscle contraction, strong bones, and reducing fracture risk if you fall, and it supports immunity. If you eat the soft bones in the can, you also receive a significant amount of calcium for bones and muscles. Sardines further provide CoQ10, which helps heart and muscle cells produce energy more efficiently. Some studies in older adults show that omega-3 from fatty fish can increase muscle protein synthesis when combined with protein and resistance exercise. For example, a 2011 study by Smith and colleagues in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that several months of omega-3 supplementation increased muscle building after a high-protein meal in older adults. In simple words, omega-3 makes the muscle-building signal louder, so muscles listen better to protein. Sardines are one of the cheaper and more natural ways to get that omega-3. Many people over 60 are willing to spend a lot on omega-3 capsules, vitamin D, calcium, or CoQ10. Yet few are told clearly that one inexpensive can of sardines already contains all four groups of nutrients. Together with 20-25 Gr of complete protein, a can of sardines is almost like a food-based multivitamin with omega-3 for muscles, bones, and the heart, not just a snack to stop hunger. A small example is Mr. Larry, 79, whose doctor recommended omega-3 for heart support. Instead of only taking fish oil pills, he decided to eat 2 to 3 cans of sardines each week. He often had sardines on whole grain toast with lemon or mixed them into salad with leafy greens and quinoa. After a few months, he found that leg exercises with resistance bands caused less early fatigue. Walking around his block also felt easier, and he no longer felt short of breath after just a few minutes. To use sardines, you can mash them on whole grain toast with lemon, pepper, and a little onion or parsley. You can also make sardine salad with leafy greens, tomatoes, some quinoa, and olive oil, or eat them with brown rice or quinoa and steamed vegetables for a quick dinner. Just 2-3 cans a week, repeated regularly, give your muscles, bones, and heart a very strong ally. People with gout or high uric acid should be careful because sardines are rich in purines. They need to ask their doctor before eating them often. Those with advanced kidney disease who must limit sodium or phosphorus should choose low sodium types. Their total daily intake needs careful calculation with their doctor or dietitian. After talking about foods for morning, main meals, and snacks, we come to the last item, one I want you to pay special attention to at night: cottage cheese. Cottage cheese stands at the top of this list. 1 cup can provide about 22 to 28 Gr of protein, depending on the type. That is almost enough to cover the protein goal of an entire meal for someone over 60. The great strength of cottage cheese is its casein, a slow-digesting protein that releases amino acids steadily for many hours. Instead of a quick rise and fall, casein keeps amino acid levels stable, especially while you sleep. Besides casein, cottage cheese provides glutamine, an important amino acid for muscles and the immune system. It also contains selenium, which supports the thyroid, the gland that regulates metabolism, including protein use. Its moderate sodium content can help maintain electrolyte balance if you are still active, walking, or doing light exercise daily. This is why I say this top food can support new muscle fibers even after 70 or close to 80. Used correctly and consistently, cottage cheese provides a slow overnight stream of amino acids. Night is when the body does most repair work. If your blood is almost empty of amino acids before sleep, the body may borrow material by breaking down your own muscle. In contrast, if you eat a slow-digesting protein like cottage cheese 30-60 minutes before bed, amino acids flow steadily through the night. Then muscles have material to repair and rebuild instead of being slowly eaten away. Several studies on bedtime protein in adults and older people show that drinking casein before sleep can increase muscle protein synthesis overnight when combined with daytime resistance exercise. Maintaining this habit for several weeks to months can improve strength and muscle mass in middle-aged and older adults, if total daily protein is adequate and exercise is regular. In very simple terms, cottage cheese at night acts like a night shift worker, feeding your muscles while you sleep. Many people try extra protein at night for only a few days before giving up because they do not feel anything different. However, muscle recovery programs for older adults usually need at least 6 to 8 weeks before clear changes appear, such as standing from a chair more steadily or walking several supermarket aisles without stopping. If you combine bedtime cottage cheese with very light leg resistance exercises, such as sit-to-stands, step-ups, or resistance band movements, the body has both signal and material to rebuild muscles even after 70 or 75. A small example is Mrs. Janet, 80, who was very afraid of falling. Every time she stood up from the sofa, she needed both hands and had to build momentum slowly. She was guided to eat half to 1 cup of cottage cheese 30 to 60 minutes before bed, and to do 3 sets of 8 to 10 sit-to-stands daily using a safe support. After about 8 weeks, she shared that her legs no longer felt like they might buckle each time she stood. She even noticed moments when she stood up without using her hands. That is not magic. It is the result of feeding muscles regularly and giving them work to do each day. To use cottage cheese, you can eat half to 1 cup with some berries or grapes, or with slices of cucumber and tomato if you prefer savory. You can also blend cottage cheese with frozen fruit and a little water into a thick smoothie for easier eating. Cottage cheese fits well as an evening snack or 30-60 minutes before bed, especially on days with walking, physical therapy, gardening, or housework. If you are allergic to dairy or severely lactose intolerant, choose lactose-free cottage cheese if appropriate, or discuss other options with your doctor. If you have end-stage kidney disease and must follow a very strict low-protein diet, every protein source, including cottage cheese, must be carefully calculated with a dietitian. Do not increase it on your own. We have now covered 8 foods, from good starches and small seeds to beans, yogurt, fish, and this night shift muscle feeder. But one big question remains: how much protein do you really need each day, and how should you arrange it? To make it easy to remember, most research suggests that people over 60 aim for about 1.0 to 1.2 g of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. If you weigh 70 kg, your ideal target is around 70-84 jars of protein a day. It is not only about the total amount, but also how you distribute it. Muscles after 60 do not respond well if you cram most protein into one big meal and treat the others as snack meals. The most effective way is to divide protein into 2 out of 3 main meals and 1 snack, aiming for about 20-30 grams of high-quality protein in each. When you manage this, the 8 foods we discussed stop being a theoretical list and become flexible pieces. You only need to pick 2 to 3 items per meal, rotate them through the week, and you will be close to the recommended protein level. Before we finish, there is one point I must repeat because many people overlook it. Protein alone is only building material, and exercise alone is only a signal. Muscles truly change only when these two go together. You need some leg resistance exercises, as simple as sit-to-stands, stepping up a low step, or using a light band for your legs. Then within 1 to 2 hours afterward, give your body a high-protein meal made from foods that suit you on today's list. That is the time when muscles open the door most widely to amino acids and use them for repair and rebuilding. If possible, set yourself a small goal. Each day, do 3 sets of sit-to-stands from a chair, 8 to 10 repetitions per set depending on your strength, and then eat a meal with enough protein. Keep this steady for 6 to 8 weeks, and your body will answer you. It will show whether standing up feels steadier, walking farther feels less tiring, and whether your legs still feel as weak as before. Finally, I want to summarize and offer you a small invitation. We have just gone through 8 foods, arranged from lower protein to higher protein. Their common point is not only having protein. Each food carries something that muscles after 60 especially need, such as omega-3, vitamin D, probiotics, resistant starch, and minerals for contraction and energy. In other words, these are not just foods, but a support kit for your muscles, bones, and heart. You do not need to eat all 8 every day. A more realistic and effective approach is to choose 2 to 3 foods that match your taste, health, and living situation. Bring them into your meals at least 4 to 5 days a week, and combine them with simple leg exercises you can safely do at home. We are not racing. We only need consistency and steadiness. Now, I would like to hear from you. Among the 8 foods today, which one feels easiest for you to apply this week? How old are you, and what is your small goal? It can be something as simple as wanting to stand up from a chair more easily or to walk a full supermarket loop without stopping. Please share in the comments. My team and I will try to read and reply to each comment because sometimes seeing someone of similar age and worries say, "I have started," is enough to help another person. Take the first step. If you find this video helpful, please press like so that YouTube understands that muscle health in older adults deserves priority. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss upcoming videos on maintaining muscle, keeping your legs steady, and reducing falls after 60. And do not hesitate to send this video to a friend or loved one you worry about because they are losing strength and walking more slowly. Our muscles are not too old to respond. Sometimes, just a slightly different meal plus a few simple daily movements are enough to change the years ahead. If you are ready, we can continue this journey together.